Are you struggling with how to market listings in 2022? How to explain to your sellers what you're going to do for them when you market a property? Well, the days of putting a property on the market and collecting 15 to 40 offers are over with. We go over with our agents all the things that we used to do years ago when the market wasn't so hot, plus the new techniques and technology that we use now to help our sellers sell their property and market it to the widest possible audience. Yeah, right. Yeah, good point. So getting to that, we forgot to put that in there, but back in the day, we had a term called chasing the market, which is, if your seller is starting at a higher price and they want to get more for the property, especially in a market that is starting to decline like we are now, or we have been, I don't know what's going to happen, but if they keep chasing the market, keep trying to price lower or right above or right lower than the other actives that are coming to market, that there's going to be an endless cycle unless their home is like really spectacular. So use that term, chasing the market. So marketing listings in 2022. We're going to cover email marketing, Instagram and TikTok Reels, geo-farming, Google and Facebook retargeting, and Zillow 3D tours. So it's not time to take your foot off the gas for marketing. It's time to double down on your marketing. I've been to a couple different conferences lately and know this from 20 years of experience, is that a lot of people will start to take their spend out of their marketing when the market starts to decline. Save that for the oh shit recession, like, bottom dropping, housing bust, which I don't think we're having, okay? I think with recession or not, this is still a good market, and, this is the time to double down on what you're doing. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are, you don't have to do this organically. Like, you can do this free, right? You can do things with Instagram and TikTok that we're gonna show you in just a second. So first of all, one thing that we haven't seen a lot until very recently are email blasts to agents and email blasts to consumers. There's Realtors, like a dozen of them. So that's very helpful. Another thing is to tap into your brokerage's database. And so what I did here was, I think we have about, 40, 50,000 emails, contacts in our CRM, and a lot of those are company leads that belong to the company, right? So what we did was we pulled company leads, and for an area 78745, and you can do a blast to those company leads. You can talk to Caleb about that. If you're at another brokerage, this should be easy to do, but letting people know. And then you can also look by last activity, meaning you can search for people that have been on the site in the last 90 to 180 days. That's kind of your low-hanging fruit right there. Every person that goes to any of our 3 websites that we use, we have Austin Home Sale Guide, SpyglassRealty.com, and move to Austin.org, is tracked, and all that is put into the CRM, so we know when they come back, how long it's been since they came back, and we can market to them if they have, right? Next one. And so this is something that Caleb has put together. It's basically a GIF email where you do us like a slideshow of the property. You've probably seen those. I think Sotheby's does it, but it's actually really simple to do. This is what you send out. So I want to talk about Instagram and TikTok. There we have Lauren Hoy right there. So we had a YouTube curriculum that we went through. It was, I think, 5 1.5 hour courses on how to optimize YouTube, and included Instagram as well. One of the Reel one was really good because, as you can see here, Lauren has 418 followers, and using the method that what we were taught, which, by the way, this whole curriculum is in Trainual. If anybody wants it, we can put you through it. Like I said, it's like, is it 1.5 hours or 4? 5. Yeah, and so she got 10,000 or 11,000 views on this. I think, Lauren, did you get any contacts on this one, or was it Adrian? Yeah, so we've actually had people that have reached out based off of these results. And what this proves is you don't have to have 10,000 followers to get engagement on a reel. So this has been really successful. I can tell you it's real hit and miss. When Lauren did it, she did it with like 3 other people, and hers hit, and the others did well, but not as well. So, you got to follow, you got to have the right hashtags, the right music, all that type of stuff, the right cover photo. So how to market listings on social media, Google and Instagram. So we're not going to talk about the specifics of getting into your Facebook and posting all that, but one thing that we do is if you have a listing with us, we automatically retarget those listings to anyone that went to the website in the last 6 months, and also just about every real estate agent in Austin, Texas that has done a deal, okay? We siphoned out anyone that had a 4 or older license number. Sorry if anyone here has that, but we just did. Actually, if she does. No, that's not true. Actually, we siphoned out anyone with a 4 or older license number that did under $1 million. So you're probably not seeing mine, right? So, geo-farming and fair housing laws. So used to be you could go to Facebook and Google, by the way, and you could put a pin on a map and you could scroll out for 1 to 3 miles, however you wanted to, and you could geo-target that area. Fair housing laws have determined that, well, I don't think they've determined, but Google and Facebook have determined that they don't want to get in trouble with fair housing laws, so they don't allow this. But there is a way around it. So one thing is we actually have a proprietary program that allows us to pull these addresses. The way you do this is you have the name of the consumer or the homeowner, you have address, email, phone number that we can pull, and we can even tell you what kind of car they drive and what they owe on it. But the reason you get that information is not so you can email and call them. The reason you get that information is so that you can upload that into a Facebook and Google audience so that you can retarget those people and show them, what's coming on the market. The way around this without that is you can use Remind to do it. And so I pulled a Barton Hills, and this was, go to the next one. So it said 15,000 plus results. But on the previous slide, it said 5,500. And those are houses, condos, apartments, everything. I mean, I didn't go into it because I just wanted to make a slide for you. But, there's probably about 3,500 single-family homes in Barton Hills. And you can do it by deed date if you didn't want to target people that have owned a home for less than 2 years or whatever it is. And then you hit the select all, and then it emails you the list of people, and then you have to format that into Facebook and Google.
And know that I'm going to, in the next few weeks, be announcing a really intense Remind training so that we can all learn how to use it better.
But again, we can pull this through our software. So this is a Google ad formatting. We have just listed, under contract, just sold. And this just keeps you top of mind with your consumers, because if they're in our database, there's a good chance they're going to see this. Next slide. And this is Facebook. And the next one, those are audiences. Okay, so we're going to talk about Zillow stats and what Zillow has going on. So pre-pandemic, Zillow traffic hovered around 160 million to 185 million unique visitors, and then that's grown to over 200 million unique visitors. Floor plans and 3D tours. These are going to be really, really important, okay? 56% of home buyers are confident in making an offer on a home they saw virtually sight unseen. And that is up, 61% of home buyers said they wish more listings included 3D tours. and that is up 15% from 2019. So we're Zillow Flex partners, and we had our Zillow rep in the office last week. This is just announced and for Flex partners, and they may be releasing this to other people at some point, but if you put a 3D tour on your property, then your listing will be, now it has to be specific, right? It can't be just get any 3D tours. There's cameras you have to use, photographers you have to use, but it will boost your listing to the top of the search results for 7 days. So it gets premium placement on Zillow and Trulia, hosted for free with no expiration date, and on average, listings with 3D home tours got 36% more saves than listings without, 68% more views, and listings also sold on average 14% faster. And now they have a button that says, you can click must have 3D home. So interactive, this is the way it looks. This is the camera, and then you can also look at it, the floor plan, through mobile. Next one. So this is a look at when he came into our office last week. There were 3,308 agent listings, 324 listings with 3D, and one listing was our Spyglass listing. And I think at the time we had like 22 active listings. So it's a huge opportunity to boost your listing to the top of the Google search results. And like I said, it does it for 7 days. Next one. Zillow Alert for buyers. So if you have a listing that's active right now and it's not moving, and you get a 3D tour on it, and anyone has saved that property, they will get a notification that that listing now has a 3D tour. So what I want to tell you guys is this is not just to list to boost your property and get it sold. This is also a tool to use at your listing appointment. Because, one other thing is, of the 324 listings, is that almost all of those were home builders. So the home builders have been doing this for a long time. They're at the forefront of this. Our Zillow rep said that almost no brokerages are doing this. So, effective immediately if you have a house listing, company listing, we are going to be paying for that. Next slide, I think. This is a look at some of the vendors that they can get this done. And if you have a preferred photographer that you want to use, they will train your photographer through Zoom, and you can use your preferred photographer for that. So this is a huge opportunity to market your listings and have something, a tool in your tool belt to help you get that listing. We talked about last time the things that you need. You want to have every single option, right? You've got the video book. You've got your tool for sellers that want to insanely overprice their property, right? You've got 3D tours that boost. All of these things are things that you want to have that I can tell you, if you have all these things, it's going to be very rare that another listing broker is going to have all these things. Just listed and just sold mailer campaigns. This is another one. So this is kind of an older slide of these. This is through our mailing service. And what these will do, the ones they have now have a QR code. So it's about $170 for 100 postcards per stage, okay? The ones now have a QR code. So if you do a just listed, it goes out to 100 of the closest homes to that listing. And each postcard will have a unique QR code so that when the consumer scans that card, you will actually get a notification, and it will pull up a, next slide. So this is just half the page. It's a landing page, and you can see where number 1 up there is the listing. Number 2 is actually whoever scanned that card, that's their house. And I didn't get the below part, but if you go down below here, it'll show the comparison of the house, what, square footage, value, and it gives an estimated price of what that house is worth. So think about it like this, guys. These are automated values, and we know that these automated values are kind of shit. So if you get a notification that someone has scanned that house, and you can be able to tell what the value shot out, then one thing you might want to do is drop off a CMA that says, hey, I know you got the automated value on that home. This is more in range of what your home is actually worth, and I can go deeper on this if you give me a call and let me in your house. So this is another thing. This is listing command that we have just launched. And so what this does is, for a single stage is like just listed. Double stage is just listed, just sold. And then full listing command are in escrow, just sold. Another thing that's not on here is open house. And I believe I'll have to find out. Oh yeah, the open house add-on is $150 per campaign. So what this does is, let's say you did a single status with an open house. You do single status, it sends out 100 postcards, and it will SMS message, which you can turn this off. I'm still on the fence about whether I would do that. And then also it will market those homes on Facebook, like just listed. It's especially powerful for the open house. The open house goes out to 500 of the closest homes because you can't really target 100 people. It's too low of a one. So this is a really powerful tool. I think, Matt, you used it. You got a few leads off of it, right? Yeah. And those 12 to 16 people can be in your database that you can send, video once a month, once every 2 months, market reports in their neighborhood. You can continue to send postcards to them. It's actually, that was a couple months ago. It's actually gotten a lot better now. So this is a really powerful tool to market your home's listing, and especially for a farming tool. I think that's the end for this one, right? The top.
I want to talk a little bit more about the 3D listing tours and why that's so important, and why we're getting this information from Zillow, because they own all the data. And as a Zillow Flex partner, and what we see with our leads that come in from Zillow Flex and the way that they're running their platform is they're trying to deliver a higher intent buyer ready to transact. That's what the purpose of, one of the biggest purposes of these tours is because all these people, you guys know, if you've been in real estate here for the last 3 years, how many of your clients have you done virtual tours for? How many have closed homes where people haven't even walked in the door? How many of you would have sold more homes if one of those homes would have had a Matterport tour, right? And those are expensive to do. It wasn't in the budget. People were scared to spend, there's probably a show of hands of who jumped on the Matterport wagon a few years ago, right? So Zillow knows that these people are searching online all over the place. So whether you're taking internet leads or you're working your personal leads, they're looking on Zillow. They're looking on other sites. We try to get them onto our customized search tool, but they are delivering a higher intent client ready to contract. And that's one of the biggest that's why this is so important. They're looking at these homes. They're doing a tour. By the time they come to you and want to tour this home, they're already mostly sold on it. They're 63% ready to buy. Right? And we have felt that in the industry as agents. We know these customers are ready. So for the sellers, this is a huge value add because you can tell them not only is it boosted, but it's going to be in front of people. They're going to get a full experience before even coming to your home. This is like when the pandemic hit, this is why. People get an entire tour of the home before they walk in it. Therefore, when they do, you have a higher likelihood that that person coming in isn't going to waste your time. They're ready to transact and purchase that home. Right? So that's my 2 cents.
And remember that sellers have their own profile on Zillow and can get in and see how many people are looking at all this stuff. So I'm sure that all of you have talked to, more sophisticated sellers that are tracking your work and watching what you do. So this will be important to tell them.